Hi guys, welcome back to Saving Salvage and in unusual circumstances. I'm broken down at the side of the road in the RS3. Not great. So basically I was just, sorry, I'm on my phone by the way, obviously I don't have any camera equipment. This is an unintentional video, of course. So I was just driving on my way out to see a man about a dog and my car has broken down. So I was just driving along as normal and all of a sudden, boom, it comes up, flashes on the dash, drive just started flashing and it then started skipping gears. It was going from, it would only go to second to fourth to sixth. So I was like, don't know what's going on, right, okay, need to get back home quick. So obviously I turned around straight away, sorry, I don't even know where to look. I'm on my iPhone. I don't know where to look at the screen or the camera or whatever. Anyway, so I started heading home and then it stopped selecting sixth. It would only let me go to fourth. So I'm now like cruising along a national speed limit road at like 30-40 miles an hour. And then I've come up to a junction, turn left. It knocks it like harshly down into second. Obviously, it's trying to select third and can't, and skips to second. And it's just really rough. And then it won't even come out of second. So I've gone through the village at in second gear at 30 miles or 20 miles an hour. I've come out and I'm now on a national speed limit, and I just don't want to do any more damage to it. It's not coming out of second gear now, so if it's progressively got worse to this stage, I'm just waiting for it to go bang, no, nothing now, and just break down and something go wrong. So I have just pulled over, I've tucked in. Luckily I'm not on a main road or anything, so it's quite quiet here apart from him. So yeah, this is where I'm at. I've just pulled in, and luckily I have a recovery truck or a car transporter, and it does still drive at the moment. So I have called my dad, and he's jumped in my truck and he's on his way to pick me up. Luckily I'm only about 10 minutes from home now. I managed to get back this far. So I have obviously already popped out and had a look to see if there's anything obvious with it. I can't see anything obvious. All the wires seem okay, nothing seems hanging off. Can't see any oil leaks or anything like that. Nothing untoward, no dripping oil, nothing on the floor. So no sign of any oil anywhere, so no issue with that. And as terms of connections, I've had a look at the gearbox connector, it's all plugged in. There's nothing really more that I can do at this point. Apologies for the dirty engine. I am using this as a daily, as the S3 is away at development, so it's obviously got dirty because the weather's crap. But there's not really much more I can do at this point, so I'm just going to sit back in the car, wait for my dad to turn up, and hopefully you'll catch me back in the yard very soon. Right, here we are back at the yard. I've just gone and got my camera, so now hopefully the quality's improved a little bit. So luckily I have a transporter, so I was able to get my dad just to come pick me up. I weren't too far away, it's only about 6 or 7 miles away, so it weren't too bad. So he's picked me up and now we're back at the farm. I'm going to now unload the car and get us straight in the workshop, because there's a little bit of wind, so no doubt my camera's being pathetic in the wind again. So what we'll do now, we'll get it unloaded, get it in the workshop, and hopefully it's a really simple fix. I am praying, because gearboxes, RS3, it just sounds expensive, doesn't it? So let's get it off into the workshop and pray it's a good fix. Before we carry on with today's video, guys, I just want to talk to you a little bit about today's sponsor, which is Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build a professional website, online store or portfolio. It's really easy to get a URL or domain name that enables you to create a custom site that bring your idea to life. All you've got to do is choose the template you want to start from. I've chosen this Pickle Perfection template, and then you can pretty much chop and change anything you want, changing any of the fonts, any of the pictures, anything. Another thing I really like is scheduling. Scheduling enables you to set up the hours of the day and slots of the day that your clients can book you out for. To give you an example, look, if I was a garage, look, you can see here, I can set up a service. This is very basic. You can chop and change to put it whatever you want. Set up a service, it would take roughly 90 minutes, and it's at £99. And you can set that so everyone can see it, and then your customers can click on your website and click on the exact appointment type they want and buy that, and then you will get an instant notification telling you that someone has booked a slot, so you know exactly what your customer has purchased. So guys, head to squarespace.com, click the link in my description
to build your very own website and completely customize it for yourself. And then once you've finished and you're ready to launch your website, go to the checkout and add my discount code for 10% off your first purchase. So again, massive thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video, because I think I'm gonna need it. Right, we've got the RS3 into the workshop, and the first obvious thing we're going to do, as you can see, is hook up VAGCOM and just see what codes we have got. So let's jump straight onto the computer. Right, so we have jumped on to VAGCOM, and let's just hope that the codes are kind. So auto transmission, DQ500 fault codes. Valve 1 in transmission part 1, electrical malfunction. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds very mechatronics. Yeah. Valve 1 in transmission part 1, electrical malfunction. So, there's our fault code. I'm now going to have to do a little bit of diagnosis into that, and we'll come back to this, I think. But that doesn't look good. So that doesn't look good. I don't think there's going to be much better to do, if I'm honest. As I've mentioned before, I'm not a gearbox specialist, especially not automatic gearboxes. They've never been my area. So, I don't really think there's much I'll be able to do. I'm thinking it's going to be a mechatronics problem. I'm just going to have a look at the gearbox plug, just make sure it is fully plugged in, check the wiring, etc. Yeah, so you'll have to excuse the dirty engine bay. I have been using it while the S3 is away. So, it don't look good, if I'm honest. I had a look at the codes. There's a code for pretty much the mechatronics. It's saying valve 1 in transmission part 1, electrical malfunction. It does say intermittent, and it has cleared. However, it doesn't look good. It's still stuck in the mode anyway, so I'll just turn the ignition back off and on, and P is still flashing on the dash. So the code has obviously come back, so just clearing it hasn't fixed it, which I didn't think it would anyway. I've just checked the gearbox wiring. The plug all seems fine. There's no water in there, there's no corrosion or anything like that. All the wiring is completely sealed still and goes up into the main loom, so there's nothing wrong with the wiring I can see either. So I don't think there's much more I can do at the minute. So I'm going to stop the video here. Obviously, it's only going to be about 2 minutes of video for you guys, so I'm sure I'm about to show you the next steps. Right guys, so it is a few days later now, and I think I left you with not really knowing what was the problem after finding a fault and not really knowing where to go from there. So fast forward a few days, spoke to a garage not far from me who specialise in automatic transmissions. I took the car down to them, I transported it down to them and left the car with them for a day and a half, and they have concluded that the mechatronics is at fault, which I kind of had an inkling it would be. Weirdly though, when I started the car to take it down to them, it gone, all the lights had gone. The car was fine. Like, park wasn't flashing anymore. I put it into drive, I took it for a drive, it was driving absolutely spot on, all the gears were working fine, and then it did it again. Luckily, obviously, because I knew it was probably going to break down, I didn't go too far. I was literally just going up and down to my closest roundabout, so it got stuck in second gear again, so I was only a couple of 100 yards away, so I just limped it back into here. But it's weird that it seems to be a problem only when the gearbox is up to temperature. So it seems that when the gearbox is cool, it works absolutely fine, completely normal. But as soon as it gets up to a certain temperature, maybe, I don't know, it goes into limp mode, it fails, and you're left stranded. So obviously I explained this to the guys at the transmission place, told them the code. Obviously they'll be able to find that out for themselves, but I told them it only does it when the gearbox is up temperature. So I left it with them for a day and a half, and basically they said that they don't know what the problem is. They don't know why it's happened, because obviously this car's only done 14,000 miles, so it definitely shouldn't be at fault. Mechatronics shouldn't be at fault on a car with such low mileage, but they were confident that it was the mechatronics at fault. They just don't know why it's at fault. Now, because of the age of the mechatronics, it seems that no one really likes to repair these, and I've spoken to a couple of companies that do these all day long, and they said because of the age of it and the complexity of it, he goes, you'd be better off just buying a new one. They said, look, we can try and repair it. It would cost £1,000 plus VAT to repair. However, they couldn't guarantee it would fix it. Basically, one of the guys I spoke to in Derby, he said the reason he thinks it's only happening when the car is warm is because as the oil heats up, it's then affecting the electrical circuit, which for some reason doesn't do it when it's cold. So he said it's probably just an age thing more than a mileage thing. It's probably the oil that's just broken down, or the electrical circuit that's just broken down over time, not mileage. And he was of agreement that you can fix it, but it's not cost effective to. He goes, you're better off just buying a new one, which is guaranteed, brand new, definitely going to work, and obviously will come with your warranty as well. Now, I did have a look at some second-hand ones on eBay. There was only one on there, and it was for an RSQ3, which essentially shares the same engine and gearbox as the RS3. However, the last 3 digits on the end of the part number were different, and this was, so I asked about that, and apparently that is to do with the software. So apparently if the last 3 digits on the part number of the mechatronics is different, it probably means that it won't be able to code to the gearbox. So the numbers have to match up, otherwise the gearbox won't be able to communicate with the new mechatronics, or used mechatronics in this case, and therefore it just simply will not code to the gearbox, and therefore completely useless. So it's crucial that you get the one with the correct part number. So that kind of chucked out getting a second-hand one, and I've had to buy a new one. Brace yourself. £1,800 for a new mechatronics. Not great, but there we go. If you want an RS3, you've got to be prepared to pay the price for it. I have a feeling that maybe it is to do with the impact this car had, obviously, when it was written off. The impact was mainly on the near side front, and obviously that is where the gearbox sits, and the mechatronics sits right at the front of that. So the mechatronics is the first thing that will be impacted behind the radiators, etc. Now, there is a very small dent in the bottom of the mechatronics PAM. However, I'm talking minuscule here, so it's not going to have affected anything. But I'm just thinking whether the impact alone maybe jolted something, or knocked something, or put something out of position. I don't know, because obviously the car works fine normally and has been working fine for the last sort of year. So that theory might be redundant, but it is a theory. But so yeah, that is pretty much it. New mechatronics, which again, more content for you guys. That means you can watch me fitting a mechatronics. So it's on back order, obviously. Why wouldn't it be? Of course it's on back order. So that, I've ordered it, so I've been told 2 to 4 weeks. So as soon as that comes, obviously there'll be a full video on taking the old one off, fitting the new mechatronics, coding it as well. I'm hoping I can code it with VAGCOM. If not, I will go down to my friends at Audi and get it coded there, if not. So yeah, that's where we're up to in today's video, guys. Not a great one for me, good one for you for future content. That means you'll be able to see me doing the mechatronics, but there we go. I just thought I'd let you know what has happened to the RS3. I thought we were friends. I fixed you and everything. I picked you up when you were down. I took you in when no one else would.